Hello, my name is Rinon and today we're going to be slightly expanding the resource section of the YouTube channel because I am going to be covering different healer openers. I'm going to be explaining to you exactly what you should be doing in your opener and why, and I'm also going to be testing the extended healer rotations over 3 minutes on the Shiva E8S dummies. One goal I have for this channel is to slowly expand over time to make it a hub full of useful resources for Final Fantasy XIV players, where they'd be able to click on my channel and find fight guides, optimization advice, the relevant openers based on different situations, patch news, discussions, talks about game mechanics, and maybe even exploring other aspects of the game further down the line. So if this kind of content interests you, I'd absolutely love it if you'd subscribe. It would really help me out. However, I really don't want to upload like a million videos each with only a tiny bit of content, so today's video is going to cover all 3 healer openers, White Mage, Scholar, and AST. I'm not going to be commentating over the entirety of the video, so as a quick explanation, first up will be opener examples for each class, which is going to showcase which button presses you should do in which order in a party setting in order to do as much damage as possible and get your raid buffs up at the correct time. Then I'm going to do an E8S Stone Sky Sea dummy on each class to showcase the opener, then the extended rotation in action. As a little note, if you're going to be playing a class, I highly recommend that you spend a good amount of time on the training dummy. You should be able to beat the Stone Sky Sea dummy on the fight you want to enter, because it's absolutely a solid indicator of if you are doing the bare minimum requirement DPS in order to clear the fight. One last thing to note is that I did all of these dummies without using food or pots. You can definitely use food and pots to test your DPS. I just decided not to. There is an alternate opener that involves using Swiftcast to delay assays by a GCD. This can be better with a Dragoon if you get lucky on crits, but I don't really recommend it or use it myself because there's a tiny DPS difference and it relies on luck, and I really don't like openers that rely massively on luck. One thing to note here that on this dummy I'm not using Misery. If you watch my How to Do More Damage on White Mage video, you're going to remember that Misery is actually not a damage gain in a lot of circumstances, and while it's only a small loss, I'm playing here as if I were in a party raid situation, so I'm going to be using abilities that are optimal in a party raid situation. Scholar also has a no dissipation opener, but to be blunt, this is a damage loss and you're generally going to use it for safety in prog, aka if you want to use Seraph in the first 40-ish seconds of the fight after the pull, you'd use the no dissipation opener, otherwise you'd use the dissipation opener. Astro is a little bit different in a party setting. One thing to bear in mind for AST is that much of your opener relies on playing cards on your party on the correct person at the correct time, so in a dummy setting this isn't really possible. I'm going to be playing cards on myself here as if they were on different members of the party and performing the opener to the best of my ability to simulate a raid setting. This definitely ends up as a slight personal DPS loss, but honestly, I'm going to be practicing for raids, so my personal damage isn't really what I care about. Astro's opener has a massive amount of inherent RNG thanks to the card system and the different types of arcana, and obviously your goal is to build 3 separate symbols to use divination and line that up with raid buffs. What I've done to make it really visual is I've linked a really useful flowchart made by Zerk over on the Balance Discord server. It shows off all of the possible outcomes for the opener and it tries to make sense of it in a simple enough way for you to be able to follow along easily. And I think it's really good, so I've linked it here and posted it in the description as well. I hope this video helped you a bit. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content and you want more of it, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. That would help me so much. But aside from that, I hope you have a wonderful day and thank you very much for watching.